Oh, Freaky Friday up here on the big show. Let's close it out strong as always. Welcome back to the Phalanx where it's not madness. This is Sparta, baby. Brian E, Brian R, Brian A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Tyler C, OPMG, and the crew. Rich Clark, Fire Sports. Let's go get him, everybody. Hey, babe, wake up. Is the Daily K Leader up? Well, it'll be up soon. Let's get ready to do the thing that we do, me and you. Call to the pen crew, baby. Fastest show in MLB, absolutely anywhere. Nothing like it. I had a guest lined up, and stuff always seems to happen. I don't want to knock my man. We will have him back on. He hit me up early, with plenty of time to let me know. BGC, the last, but certainly not the least of all the bees. The killer bees. B. Brian Blair and Jumpin' Jim Brunzell, the killer bees. Who remembers that one? My gosh, there is not a golden age, WWF reference that I don't get or will drop. All right, man, let's do the thing we do. It's a full slate. We're going to skip the early stuff, keeping that commuter crowd in mind. If I do remember at the end, I have a play for one of the afternoon games. I think it's the Royals are going. And I like Reagan's. He was a pretty heavy dog against Tyon and the Cubs. Just remind me to mention that one. Colorado Friday? No. I know. Brian Rose scoped it right out. I'm going to be on VSiN right after this. I got a funny story before I get started, man. Just really funny. Because this is, man, I put so much stuff on my plate. I was getting so much going on. And I appreciate when people want to platform me and put me on. So I've had a featured guest spot on, VSiN here and there, numbers game with Gil and all that stuff. And I had a spot lined up on Saturday. And my little guy, whatever, it's hard to have little kids. Sometimes they're not always, they're sick and no one wants to hear it, whatever. We're running around scrambling, and I didn't make it back in time. And I'm like in my underwear, but trash clothes, and looking like a mess. They didn't even put me on camera. They just put me on they just put my avatar up. So I'm on my best behavior, P's and Q's. All right, let's do the baseball thing now. Everybody really got to appreciate we even got our views in yesterday on that super short slate. As we do the slow climb to 1,000 subscribers, we are right there. Like, Jay DM me this, the gif of the guy just dragging his carcass across the finish line. And that's us. Well, let's earn those last 14 or so. I just want to double check the schedule real fast. Okay, so there's actually KC Chicago at 2. It was the first of the doubleheader at 4. That's Detroit and Cleveland, the makeup. I'm skipping that as well. I guess if you want, you can get the pitching breakdown. You can watch yesterday's video. How about that? Talking about getting up the likes. Rate, review, and subscribe because it matters more than it should by an order of magnitude. It's really funny. So let's just start it up. It's the Bluebirds. Joe Berry's on the bump. Jose Berrios, minus 150 favorite on the road in Great American Small Park against the Reds. And Brett Kennedy, who I did not know much about. I did have some... I was looking at the minor league stuff, and I know I wasn't impressed, right? That's what you got to be careful when you get these guys with just the really small set. Even if they kind of perform, it's almost always going to get you in trouble, right? He had 7 innings, the whip was low, the ERA's high, and it's almost like at a certain point, the game log just is better. I can't scrape that stuff I put on the season-long data. Let's check out the game log. I got it popping up right now. All right, so he went 5, gave up 4 at Washington. Last time he only went 2. Right, so we're going to handicap these things. You really want to have an idea of workload and pitches thrown. That's usually it for me. He threw 86 pitches in a game on July 4th and only 33 pitches last time out. So I guess Brett Kennedy's just going to open, and the Red bullpen has been a disaster. Probably a reason for the line today. Barry has been pretty good. 3.5 ERA, 1.22 whip. Indicators kind of all in the 4. I don't want to see, not like a jag, like a just a guy, because it's been a little bit better than that. 16 KBB, 29.5 CSW, those are all pretty good. Inducing some chases, keeping it down. Just, I think I have my ground ball and fly ball stuff messed up. Oh my God, help it. Oh, okay, I got it. Suppressing hard hits, we've been backing Berrios because he had the control going. The walk rate's still below 7, although it is creeping up a bit. He suppressed hard contact. But he's been pretty good on the road. Road Berrios. Sub-4 ERA, sub-1, homer 9. But that's the thing that'll get you in trouble in Cincinnati. Reds offense really kind of circling the drain right now. 84 WRC plus, last 500 PAs for the Red Legs. 233 team batting average, a 708 OPS, 27 K to 7.7 walk. That's not going to do it. 13 swing and strike, 82 zone contact. Remember, we want to look at these team baskets. Though the daily K leader is not up, right? We're keeping a third eye on it, right? I have mine covered up. If you don't wonder why I smashed it into a fire hydrant after I lost a strikeout prop. Or at least that's what I'm telling people. I don't want to tell my people I've recently introduced my 4-year-old son to wrestling, and I, caught the business end of a frog splash. Which infinitely closer to the truth. All right. Holler for him, man. So keep Berrios in mind, Jay, for the strikeout leader. So let's bin Berrios at first, right? Again, just really quick, we've done extremely well betting these daily K leaders responsibly, similar to a golf ticket. Attacking it from two vectors. The first one being looking for pitchers that strike out people, obviously. But the other side, and maybe more importantly for this venture, has been picking on the teams that strike out a lot. That really seems to be the profit center. The teams that really whiff, and the Reds right there at the very end. Because we lost the guest, we're going to bring Jay on the last section of the show. Segment is the word I was looking for. Section, I don't know what I'm talking about. And we'll go over the K-prop, but let's keep those guys binned in mind. So Jose Berrios, for sure. I guess I like the Blue Jays to win. They're in the spot that they need it. The bullpen's been okay, but so is Cincinnati's. I'm probably leaving this one for the juice, though I think the Blue Jays win. Feels like maybe a parlay piece. Next up, Phillies and Michael Lorenzen. Fresh off the no-no, right? On the road against Joan Adon and our Nats. Plus 170 for the Nats at home. Man, I don't like to try and pitch or play in Washington. During these summer months, for me, it's become one of those launch pads. I kind of avoid Cincinnati, avoid Colorado, and kind of Washington is there too. But let's check it out. Lorenzen, 3.23 ERA, 104 whip. But he's been good, but just not that good. Every indicator at 4.1 or above, 13 KBB, 9.5 swing and strike. It's good, but not great. The control has been what's carrying him, right? The walk rate below 7, the ball rate below 34, first strike 68. He's not really inducing chases, not really his game, but he's kept the ball down. And that's kind of that is the part of his game. 41 ground ball. Suppressing hard hits, sub 1 homer 9. Death on lefties. He's just been fantastic on the road. This is Lorenzen all year. Sub 600 OPS, 3 ERA, sub 1 homer 9, 1.25 ERA last 500 pitches, but indicator's not really buying it. I actually think this might be bad chalk, that minus 185. I think, sometimes just as I may not necessarily go with this one, but I'm going to be honest. I've talked about cowardice and fortitude and backing my own model and stuff, and this feels like one of those. It's funny because the Nats are like our team. The offense has been okay. The Philly offense has been very good. Nat bullpen has been shut down, so has the Phillies. So then, we'd probably look to shrink it to F5. I'm rambling my way as I move over to the algo. I actually have Washington ahead. Jay, what's the price on the half run? Because if the half run has a plus here, maybe we got to go with Adon. Check it out. Adon was such a gas can last year. It's very easy to fall, against these guys. And people see the 5 ERA. That's the reason for the minus 185 line. However, 0.85 whip, 569 OPS through 14 innings for Adon. Let's get the log up. So the runs have been there. But remember, we're all about the nuance and the context. 26 K to only 7 walk. That's really good from a little out of character even, maybe. The whiffs are down, but maybe that's it. He's trying to stop striking everybody out. Pitching more to contact, 90% zone contact. But only 8% barrel. That's where the homers have been with the misses have gone out. Check it out. It's been against lefty. So here we go. So this is kind of the reason the model is seeing the regression here for Adon. 185 batting average allowed to lefties on the season. 25K to only 3.5 walks, 621 OPS, but 2.5 homers per 9. So lefties have just unusually beat up on this guy. Generally, home run numbers with all the other stuff in line, you look for regression. Fangraphs is dragging again. I'm going to have to stop trying to bring any of the stuff up in real time. We'll have to go with what I got. What's the problem with Adon, though, is the home numbers. Again, I mentioned the launch pad. Right, so I'm not really buying Lorenzen. We're looking for regression. His road stuff has been good. But the home stuff for Adon, disaster, 7.5 ERA, 5.5 xFIP, 3 home runs per 9. So the homer stuff maybe is a little bit worrisome for Adon. Philadelphia offense has been really good. You know, lots of contact. They're lifting, they're pulling, they're hitting it hard, barreling, hitting home runs. You know what, Jay pumped did you bet the 5? If so, it's okay. I did mention it, but I don't want to do it anymore. To me, I don't want to do it. It's the environment there is just not it. You know, and even though I was talking about being cowardly and then trying to back those things, objectively, right, staying consistent in my process, all year we have kind of tried to avoid positive environments. You know, where we're looking for a pitcher to, I don't know, Jay's asked about the 1.5. Sometimes I ask myself, what are we expecting? If you need a 1.5 through a 5, what are we expecting? Kind of the same logic I'll use sometimes when you look at for the +1 and you say, am I really only expecting to tie? So I'm going to just leave it, Jay. I'm going to leave it. I'm leaving it. Strikeout stuff, not too strong. Both of these teams, very good from a disciplinary standpoint. You know, sub 21 strikeout. Both make at least an 89% zone contact last, 500 PAs. So I would be looking past this game for, you know, kind of the strikeout leader. And let's move that one on. Next up, it's my boy. We got to skim past this. The Yankees have not confirmed their starter yet, so it's not up. Yankees-Red Sox starts today. New York Yankees. And the Red Laundry, it's Brian Bellissimo on the bump against Johnny Brito is who I have assumed in which case, I don't know. There's no line out. I've been guessing like, I don't know, minus 145 for the Red Sox, maybe minus 150. That'd be F5. The money line will probably be a little bit closer, believe it or not. That's something I want to keep an eye on, right? So I don't know who is going to start for the Yankees. Bayo's been very good. You know, 3.8 ERA, 1.25 WHIP. The Sierra, all these numbers started really high, are all kind of creeping down now to the point where we want them. He's given up a bunch of homers on the road, but he's been okay. The ERA is really high as of late, but the indicator's not buying it. You know, 4.11 Sierra last 500 pitches. So you could get with Bayo. Brito, not so much. Though I think as of late, he's been good. Again, the ERA is spiked, but the indicator is really good for Brito. I think he strung together a couple of strong starts. I kind of worry about him. I wonder if it's a Yankee thing. 4.75 ERA for Brito, but 5 xFIP, 5 K minus walk ERA, 5.25 expected ERA in the 4.9 Sierra, right? We talk about when expected ERA and Sierra kind of agree around 5. So this one's got to be Red Sox with the edge pretty much every single way. Yeah, Brito's numbers are low. He hasn't really pitched. You know, that's why. But you know, listen, he's been okay. Tampa roughed him up. But he's really just blah. Boston offense kind of dragging their feet. So that would have to be the key if the Yankees are going to get it. Yankees offense kind of stinks unless you're a left-handed, which Bayo is not. So I think Boston wins this one. This one almost feels like the Blue Jays. You know, if you're a money line player, you like the robust tickets, you don't mind parlaying stuff. Toronto and Boston is probably like a boring kind of ML pair that I think gets across. Next up, Alex Corn on a Cub and those Gigantes on the road going down to the Dirty to face the Bravos and Spencer Strider. Strider minus 210 favorite. I actually thought that was a bit short for this game, considering how bad the Giants' offense has played, and considering how good the Braves' bullpen has been, and considering the Giants' bullpen, which had been great on the season, has now slipped. So let's get into this one. Jay, let's not bury the lead. I have the most donkey bet you can make all year, but it covers every single day. Jay, one step ahead of me. Yeah, Braves the full game run line cover. Again, if you're watching the video, there's actually a little bit. Jay's like working the arrow. It's like it's speaking to you also. You could kind of follow it around. He's showing you different prices and stuff and kind of how to read the board. And then even use the BetStamp app if you're into it. It really is worthwhile. It's such a great app. We'll promote it a little bit, but it speaks for itself. all the different books with all the different prices. And again, not only does that allow you to use the live links to get the best price, it's probably more so for totals, but it will show you the directionality of the market, right? Because if you start to see 4.5s and 4s, and the open was 4.5, you're heading towards a 4. And if it was 4.5 and 4s, and the open was 4, you're heading up 4.5, maybe towards 5. And you can use that information to either pull the trigger or not on your bet. Let's get into it. Cobb has been good, but not great. 3.6 ERA, masking the expected ERA at 4.7. The whip at 1.4. He's not walking guys. He gets ahead. He keeps the ball down, right? So that's all stuff that we like. He has given up a ton of hard contact, and he's been brutal on the road away from that ballpark. So anytime you have a pitcher with the 90% zone contact rate, even if they do keep the lead sinker down, I really worry about feeding contact to the Braves. Right, 304 batting average allowed by Cobb on the road, 841 OPS at a 5 ERA, 1.3 homer 9. Last 500 pitches, 5.6 ERA, 4.5 Sierra, plus 5 K- walk ERA. So Cobb, I think, setting up, again, if he's going to pitch a contact, you don't want to do that against the Braves. Spencer Strider doing his thing, of course, 3.75 ERA, 1.12 whip, 6.50 OPS. I mean, he has multiple earned run indicators below 3. That's the opposite of the Sierra plus expected ERA. At 5, we go after. Sierra and expected ERA at 3 or below is like everything, man. XFIP below 3, K- walk ERA below 3, 142 stuff plus on the fastball. That's 4 standard deviations better than the average fastball. It's ridiculous. 38% K to 8% walk, 30 K- BB. I mean, this is just absurd numbers. 34.5 CSW with only 32% ball rate. So like an elite control metrics also, 40% whiff, 38 O-swing, 76 zone contact. Good luck getting to Strider. He's been amazing in the crib. 204 batting average, 204 BA allowed, 606 OPS, 2.2 XFIP. Again, the ERA at 4.7 last 500, but XFIP came on his walk ERA and Sierra all below 3, right? I also added pitching plus metrics, Eno stuff that's publicly available on Fangraphs now. Stuff, location, and pitching plus all at 104 or better. Stuff plus at 125. I mean, he's amazing. Offenses couldn't be further apart. Giants, one of the worst in the league right now. Last 500 PAs, 66 WRC plus. Yikes, a 277 WOBA versus righties last 30. Only 8 home runs in that span. That's 213. Team batting average, 48% ground ball, 25 strikeout, 12 swinging a strike, 85 zone contact. I mentioned it because, of course, Damani SC out the corner of my eye. Matt Williams, what's up? Not only did you not miss the ad read, Jay is going to jump on for the last segment. Matt, if I would have known you were free, I would have asked you to jump on too. In fact, I don't know how busy Jay is. You could work that out. Please, we'll set the last 5 or 10 minutes to get you both on, and we'll round table the K-props. But I can't do anything besides this. So if you guys can work that out either through DMs or whatever, by all means, like I told you, this is an immersive experience. We're bringing people on. Like, we're bringing you on because we appreciate you. Brian Rose says, hi, Matt. Norm! Matt wanted to go where everybody knows his name. You head to the restaurant where the chefs eat. Call to the pen, rate, review, and subscribe because that shite matters more than it should. Damani, my dude, good to see you. All right, let's get back into it. So it's Strider in the run line by a mile. Again, I mentioned the San Francisco bullpen last 57 2/3. They have a 5 ERA. Braves last 47 innings have a 1.9 ERA. I mean, this is just ridiculous. No losses the last 14 days. I probably just put them on Loic on that one. Let's move it up. It's Sheriff Woody, Brandon Woodruff on the bump for the Beer Makers, plus 110 dogs on the road against Andrew Haney and the Rangers. I mean, I saw this one and thought, misprice. Still a sucker for pitching. Not wanting to bury the lead. Give me the Milwaukee first 5. Yeah, I think we can go for this one outright. I don't want to pay the minus 150 juice. If Burns gets touched, he gets touched. We take the loss. I don't want to pay for it. Woodruff's been excellent. It's only 23 innings, but looking like an ace. 2 ERA, 0.84 whip. Expected ERA at 2.75% walk to 30K. I mean, listen, sometimes guys come off the IL and we kind of have to wait for it. It's been phenomenal. 68 first strike to 37 O swing, incoming bully reference, right? When a first strike plus O swing equals over 100, that's a great metric, especially in short sets. Pitcher gets up, he gets ahead, makes you chase his garbage with an 81% in-zone contact rate. So he's winning in, winning out. Woodruff kind of doing the damn thing right now. He's been freaking awesome. 247 expected WOBA, 159 batting average allowed on the road. I mean, yikes. 125 PA allowed to righties on the season so far. Flip side, Andrew Heaney, kind of doing Heaney things. Right? 417 ERA, not bad, but the 1-3 whip. Because it's too many walks, it's too many balls, it's too many fly balls, too many barrels, and too many home runs. Right? I mean, it's Andrew Heaney. Everybody. The reason for the pricing, though, of course, is the tremendous disparity in offense right now. Texas is awesome. Texas kind of went through their sine wave. They're now back in the up wave, 122 WRC plus, 347 team WOBA last 500. That's an 820 OPS. Leading the league in doubles, top 3 in chase rate, double-digit walk rate, all the stuff that you're looking for. Then pairing 42 fly ball with nearly double-digit barrel, and that's how you get it. Milwaukee Brewers really struggling. However, the one bright spot has been Milwaukee against lefties. And we're going to hope that that's going to be the thing that gets done. 331 team WOBA against lefties last 30. That's just about the only thing they've been any good at. 216 team BA for the Milwaukee Brewers, only 14 doubles and 50 runs last 2 weeks. Yikes. Those are all, bottom 5, bottom 8, 635 team OPS with an 83 in-zone contact. So that's going to be it. Can Heaney win in the zone against the Brewers? We're going to hope not. And hopefully we get the lefty split to get us across the finish line. F5 for the Brew Crew. Next up, my boy Bryce Miller pitching for the Mariners, plus 135 dog on the road against JP France. Minus 150 favorite for the Astros. I've been a huge Miller guy. Love Bryce Miller. 404 ERA, 105 whip. Right? One of these things not like the other. I think it's positive regression coming. I think he's underperformed. 24 K, only 5 walk, sub 32% ball rate, but we love the control here. 66 first strike to 36 O swing again. There's that metric again. He has missed, which has turned into barrels, which luckily have not turned into home runs. He's been phenomenal against righties. That's kind of been his claim to fame. Struggling as far as ERA on the road. The indicator's not really buying it. It's been a home run thing. Last 500's been okay. Again, he does get the blessing from the plus metrics. 105 minimum stuff location and pitching plus for Bryce Miller of the Mariners. On the other side, JP France. I mean, I get negative regression screaming. It just won't come. Though the other pitchers we were talking about that for all got served. Maybe today is the day. I don't know why I didn't bet the Mariners. I would have. A little bit closer than I thought. I have Houston scoring. Maybe Houston's offense has been really, really good, but so is Seattle. Man, I think I like this F5. Again, I'm gonna maybe risk the push, Jay, and not eat the juice. Right? Not if we lose, you lose. Play for the plus money and go for it. Again, I just have regression coming for France. Check it out. A 274 ERA with a 1.21 whip. He's got a 477 Sierra. I mean, 2 full runs of difference. 17% K to 7 walk. I mean, 10 K minus BB. Single digit swing and strike. 37.5 ball rate. 60 first strike. These are not great. 28-0 swing. That's chase rate. Really all below average. He has been good around the edges and suppressed hard contact. The sub 1 home 9. 315X WOBA is pretty much what's been carrying him. Righties have been really good. He doesn't strike out anybody. Been okay at home, and again, the indicator's not buying it. I want to go with Seattle. I think, again, Houston has been good. They're certainly clicking up. Check it out. 265 BA, 820 team OPS, 12% walk rate. Miller's not walking anybody. He's not walking anybody. They are making contact. They are putting in the air. This is the Astros. But they're not really hitting the ball hard. So the power stroke's not really been there for the Astros. It's also been more heavily slanted towards lefties. Keep that one in mind, the splits. I always like to run those splits. Again, I have that up. You can follow me on Twitter at John Laghezza, formerly known as X. Pin tweet will take you to the sharpener link with all the data. You could just follow stuff along. I think if you bet. No. Seattle F5, Jay, not Houston cover. Sorry, we crossed lines there. So I want Miller and the cover. Houston, I think we have the edge with Bryce Miller. Negative regression coming from France. Houston also with the edge here. 830 team OBP, double-digit walk rate. They're lifting, but pulling 49.5 pull rate, 11% barrel. Yes, the 135 WRC+, plus, also 342 Team Woba versus righties, last 30. I'm going to hope they get the JP France in the small sample. Let's move it on, baby. Next up, it's the black and yellow. Those Buccos and Andre Jackson on the bump against the Twinkies and Pablo Lopez, minus 225. Again, I had this one at a pretty big... Matt, I agree, but I really wasn't. I just rambled. I think we got confused. Anyway, back into it. I have this one a lot further than minus 220. So, Jay, let's go with the full game run line cover. We have a 3-phase edge. Andre Jackson plus 195 dog on the road. Again, it's only 26 in the third, but 5.5 ERA, nearly 800 OPS. The indicators do kind of love this guy, except for expected ERA. Right, so these are always really interesting cases. Sometimes I think maybe it is a matter of small sample. Then sometimes I think there maybe is more there. Now remember, expected ERA incorporates StatCast data. So it's a bit more descriptive than the other ones. So XFIP, K-walk ERA, and Sierra all at 3.75 or below. The expected ERA more validating the 5.5 ERA. The K rate's been good at 25. The walk rate is very good below 5. Right, so that stuff is in place. However, I don't want to say he's been lucky. He's just really been winning a lot in the zone. But I'm not sure if the 12 swing and strike kind of validates an 80 zone contact. In particular, 59 first strike, 8% miss rate, right? That's that center box. With tons of hard hit, 46 hard hit, 11.5 barrel, is the 2-homer 9 for Jackson, 446 expected WOBA on contact. It's all been at home, though. He's been fantastic on the road, for whatever that means. And good last 30 as well. His location, again, is very good. The K rate last 30 is through the roof. But I'm not necessarily sure I'm buying it. I've been really into Lopez all year. 366 ERA, 109 whip, 644 OPS. All the indicators now are 3.3 or below. 30% K rate right on the nose, man. Love that. Remember when Lopez couldn't get you 100 innings? Well, it was at 147 already. 6% walk, 32 ball, 70 first strike, 38 O swing. I mean, a 108 bully is fantastic. With the 42 ground ball, 36 hard hit. So, he's getting swings and misses. He's winning in the zone. He's keeping it down when you make contact, and it's softly hit. 1-homer 9. Lopez pretty much doing it all. 230 batting average allowed at home. 680 OPS, 3.3 XFIP, sub-1 homer 9, sub-3 ERA last 500 pitches. Everything else in agreement. Sierra at 3.19. I got this one just by a mile. Pittsburgh offense is meh at best. Some of the disciplinary stuff is good. I just don't think they're aggressive enough. Check it out. So the walk rate is great at 11.5. The chase rate is great at 27.5. The zone contact is very good at 88, but the K rate is up at 25. The batting average is at 225. The hard hit rate is at 33, which is not any good. Meaning, right, if you're walking, you're not chasing, because you're not swinging. But you are making contact and it's not well struck. That's bad, right? So sometimes I know we do number, but a lot of times it's a bit of an incorporation. Matt's going to buck up us against us a little bit, although maybe not if Minnesota does score. Matt's got Matt is Pittsburgh over 3.5 team total. I'm looking at Le Algorithm. You know what they call an algorithm in France? Le Algorithm. Do you know that? I just learned that today. I do not have Pittsburgh at 4 runs. So this is where I also have, again, I'm already betting Minnesota. The bullpen has struggled. Last 41 innings. However, I do think with Lopez you get distance. I also think the good part of the Minnesota bullpen is good and the bad part is bad. So I know Griffin Jackson's imploded and Duran's not been good. But if Lopez is handing it to Jackson Duran, I think I'm going to take that. Against, again, a Pittsburgh offensive unit, which kind of stinks. So give me Minnesota. Give Matt his team total, but make sure that we win it by 2. So we can all win. Greatson, what's going on? Good to see you. Hey, guys, what do you see? Welcome aboard, my friend, to the show that never ends. So Minnesota to cover it up, and let's move it on. I believe this one was just listed. The Let's Go Mets Go. Joey Lucchese is back. Paisan plus 125 on the bump on the road against Zach Attack Thompson. Minus 135 favorite for the Cardinals. My model absolutely love this guy. Thompson I'm talking about. The opposite for Lucchese. Joe Lucchese. 4.4 ERA, but a 787 OPS. Expected ERA in your 7. Sierra up at 5. So there's an agreement. Again, right? I do program this thing. The whiff rate down at 16. The in-zone contact rate at 91. Right, this is kind of the case against Lucchese. 390 expected WOBA, 449 expected WOBA on contact. You flick over to the Cardinals, top 3 against Wobies last 30, in X and the regular WOBA. So expected WOBA and WOBA. Top 3 last 30. They don't strike out. They don't swing and miss. They're, tons of barrels, tons of line drives, lots of power. I think the Cardinals are going to score a ton today. I know we said that yesterday. We didn't get it. The scoring's coming today. I didn't see the total on this one. That I didn't get to. But I feel like if it's 9.5, like I'm licking my chops, I feel like it's going to be 10 or more. It is 9.5, Jay. Let's go over 9.5 before it's too late. Oh, entire board with a 9.5. And we got some positive money on it. Why? I wonder if this could be it, people. We could miss on CLV today. It hardly, when I say hardly ever happens, again, that's one of the reasons I take so little flack, winning or losing. I'm a freaking CLV machine, yo. I really am. Again, that's why people don't come at me, because the bets you take are ahead of the market all the time. So if you believe in that stuff, it's hard to argue it. But if we do end up behind a total on a bet we've picked this season on the show, and you're the first to catch it, you could catch me on Twitter, John Laghezza, tweet the show handle, call to the HQ, tag me, and I'll send you a baseball card, a cool baseball card. We'll figure something out. Always my open CLV challenge, and I kind of the thing I do, kind of trying to put my money where my mouth is. Other side, Zach Thompson. It's a 3.96 ERA, but a 1.5 WHIP because the walk rate is up at 11. However, the BABIP is at 3.77. Indicators love this guy. xFIP below 3, Sierra 3.3, expected ERA 3.7, 31% K rate. Through the roof. Really, not what I had kind of expected from Thompson. I don't even know really what to make of it. He's just been downright filthy at home. 213 BA, 484 OPS, 0.6 ERA, no homers allowed. He's been filthy last 30 days. I feel like I was into Thompson a year or two ago in these like deeper draft and hold fantasy leagues where you end up, going 750 players into the player pool. So check it out with Thompson. He was just opening. He had been really effective. Now the Cardinals are starting to stretch him out, and I think we're getting it all the way now. So he went 4 innings at home against Colorado, gave up 1, struck out 8. He went to Kansas City, went 4 again, gave up 1, struck out 5. But the pitch count, climbed from 20, 30, 30, now went 60, 73. You could get 80-plus pitches from Thompson. He's been pretty good. Mets have been their best against lefties. They're not striking out. They're not swinging, missing. They're not chasing. Tons of fly balls. Decent amount of pull. So I think this one is the over again. If we don't get it, well, we can ride the bullpen. Mets bullpen's been really bad as of late. Last 55 innings, it's a 7.4 ERA, 4.5 Sierra, 45 fly ball, 45 hard hit, 11.5 barrel. St. Louis, the ERA in the Sierra kind of low, but they're not striking anybody out. They have a 270 BA allowed, tons of contact. And on the season, it's been no picnic for this bullpen in St. Louis. So I think we're over the 9.5. I feel pretty good about that. Algo was over it. I have St. Louis as, I think, the highest scoring team. Maybe I should have mentioned that as well. Jay, bring up the team total. Did you lock in the full game? If you locked in the full game, it's fine because I talked that S. But I think the St. Louis team total also, if it's not going to be 4.5, is it? No. That's really the one we want. If you didn't lock in the full game, anybody? Like, I doubt anybody was listening to this betting in real time. I would back off that and play just for the St. Louis team total. I feel a lot more comfortable about that. Just in case the Thompson stuff is real. We've seen the Mets just faceplant. And the Cardinals get us 5. What if the Mets don't get their 5? Right? Then we would have cleared the team total on the strength of analysis without getting the bet in. So again, forgive me. Although I want to back up to something Matt commented on that I certainly do agree with. Though I think it was weird. There was some miscommunication. Maybe I misspoke, which, again, I got it. So maybe I need to back up anyway. Matt says, John, anytime you need to debate this long, you should leave it alone. He put a laugh emoji, but you're 100% right, my friend. You could have put the salute emoji. It's the truth. I pulled it 3 scratches of the chin. A lot of people have their version of it when you're uncertain. I didn't feel uncertain. I thought we had a huge edginess when he was talking about the Houston game, by the way. I thought Miller had the edge over France. I thought France had negative regression coming. I think Miller has positive regression coming. I thought the Mariners right now are swinging a better stick than the Astros. The Astros have been good. And I wanted to avoid the bullpens and take a push if I could. So, again, I always like to address people that are taking their time out to participate in the comments. Really do appreciate you. Brian Rose. Dude, one of my favorites, man. He says, OU plus 150 for the Strider K leader. And I hear you, man. I absolutely hear you. I do. It's so ridiculous, but you gotta feed Strider these days, right? When Strider pitches for a full slate, that's what we're up against. Although I would also mention this, BR. I think having Strider on the slate helps us on the back end with the odds, and then we have to just hope that he gets 8 or 9 and not the 10 or 11 that we're going to try and peck. Again, I started talking all that smack. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. No, we just happen to be covering teams that were pretty strong from a discipline standpoint. Again, Minnesota, we know, strikes out, although lately they've been cleaning that up, so you really want to be careful with that stuff. Minnesota, 26K, but the double-digit walk, 31 chase, that's not terrible, right? No, we're not what we pick on. Mentioned the strikeout stuff for Thompson as of late, but again, Mets not striking out, taking their walks, 9-7 swing strike. Those are all really good. So I didn't forget you. This one, it might be it. Automatically, we got Kopech and the White Sox are heading into the altitude to face Peter Lambert and the Rockies. So there's our little bin action right there. The Rockies are just so bad. It is just like inexcusably bad. I'm looking at the line here. Maybe it wasn't listed, or maybe I just LOL'd the pick because it's in Colorado. Jay, we want Kopech and the White Sox. I know Kopech's been an adventure, but really? Was this -1? Is this really -105? It's funny. I go look at my algo and I don't have it nearly that close. Maybe we should be under the 12. Hold on. Pump the brakes. Man, I'm talking some smack today. What's going on, man? I can't even blame Fangraphs. I recovered. Got everything back. Hold on. Michael Kopech. 4.6 ERA, 1.45 whip, 800 OPS. Lambert, 5.5 ERA, 1.4 whip, 868. I'm going to look for something. Let's just skip. We know Lambert stinks. Man, even the disciplining stuff for Kopech, not great. Stuff plus in a fastball, very good. But only 24K to 15% walk. My gosh, 41.5 ball rate. But 27 whiff, 84 zone contact. Right, but tons of hard contact, tons of misses. Oh my gosh, last 30 days, 6.25 Sierra, 6.8 Sierra, 6.25 ERA, 6.5 came on his walkie rate. Oh my gosh. And the strikeouts last 30 days have not been there either. I still think you got to bin Kopech for it. For the strikeout leader, but I'm going to pump the brakes on the win there. No wonder why this one is, the line is at 12. My gosh, talk about like, you see the name and thought, he's got to be better than Lambert, right? I guess not, though. Someone's got to win. I do think it will be the White Sox, and the reason why we're putting Kopech in the bin. Rockies, just atrocious. 31% K rate as a team, last 500 PAs. 6% walk-ins, a 15 swinging strike, 82 zone contact. That is just disgraceful. What a disgraceful display as a team. That says, R.I.P. John, loving husband, loving father, bet on Michael Kopech. No, I didn't. I do it. You know what? Mortally wounded mentioning betting on Kopech. But we got to mention him for the K leader. And again, if he's like 18, I'm not interested. There's a world where Kopech is a massive favorite, in which case, he runs pure against a disgraceful Rocky lineup. One of the things that I mentioned, right? We mentioned the 2 vectors to go after the K leader. And right, one makes sense to look for pitchers that strike people out. One of the other ones I had mentioned was kind of looking for ceiling games. Because again, right, that'll do it. I mean, I guess it happened a while ago. And we haven't really seen it since. And maybe this is my mistake, kind of falling in love with it. But, we had a 4-game stretch where he struck out 9 batters minimum. If it's going to happen again, it's going to happen against the Rockies. All right, next one I got, again, is not listed. It's the second part of the doubleheader. It's Matt Manning and Xavier Curry. Not really much here. The one thing you want to look out for would be Detroit is striking out a ton, but Curry doesn't K anybody. So I'm probably just leaving this one on the cutting room floor. When I saw it, I was thinking, like Manning. I like Manning, and I thought Detroit had been hitting. The WRC plus is there, but the disciplinary stuff is just so weak. And the ground ball rates, everything just terrible. Both of these teams, minimum 44 ground ball, and maximum 38 pull. It's just really bad. Really, really bad. So I think you could just skip the Detroit-Cleveland one. I'm going to just move this one on. Like I said, I don't think it's even listed anywhere yet. As we make our way around the board, I'm trying to giddy up a little bit to get through as we're going to get Jay on for the last couple minutes to do the case stuff. He said he put some work into it, so let's see. We're doing really good on those. Next up, let's get some bet stamp action after this one, Mr. Coop. It's Erasmo Ramirez. How desperate are the Rays? I can't believe they didn't make more moves at the break. Erasmo Ramirez pitching for the Flatfish of Florida, 39 and a third. It's a 5.572 ERA, 1.6 WHIP. Not to be outdone by Tyler Anderson on the bump for the Angels, 1.53 ERA with a 1.5 WHIP. This is really disgusting. The fact that just 2 weeks ago we were talking about these teams trying to compete. I mean, Sierra at 4 3/4 above. This is both of them. K-minus walk ERA 5.1 or above. Both have a maximum 9% K-minus PP. We're not looking for much pitching in this one. Splits have been really brutal for Ramirez as well. 3.75 batting average allowed on the road, 6.6 ERA. Anderson with a 2.75 batting average allowed at home, 5.4 xFIP. With a 5.5 ERA last 500 plate appearances. I call it, it's like my recent stat. I mean, it's not, I put 30 days, not technically 30 days. You need 37, not quite 40, because 40 gets the next start that I don't want. I'm generally looking for between 5 and 6 starts. So he's been bad. Erasmo Ramirez is bad. Anderson is bad. The Angels' offense is just terrible. But I don't think you can rely on Ramirez for the distance and take advantage of the Angels' K stuff. This is going to be a rough go for us, Jay. I wonder if you already kind of came to the same conclusion. Right, the teams we're attacking are not facing any pitcher with any kind of semblance of this. If I had to give anybody an edge, I guess it's Tampa on offense. They're at least viable. 280 batting average, 770 OPS, 119 WRC plus, but too many strikeouts, not enough walks, too many swing strikes. They don't pull, too many ground balls. It's not very good underneath the hood. Angels even worse. 207 team batting average, 611 OPS, 27K to only 4 walk, a 40% chase rate. This is just getting to the point of ridiculousness. 50% ground ball rate as a team for the Angels. You can't bet on these guys at all. Do not bet on the Angels. Like, even as a joke. Rays have a 5.6 ERA last 50 innings. Angels have a 6 ERA. My God, I guess what's the over on this one? I guess I just talked myself into an over. At 9.5, I got to be over on the algo, right? So I'm not. It's hard for me to get to 9.5. This one opened at 9, went up to 9.5. Are there any 9s left, Jay? If you find an 9, I could dig on that. No, they all moved to 9.5. I was a little slow. Matt says his projections like the Angels much more than Tampa Bay in the F5. So I closed my eyes and he took the Angels F5. Interesting. I hear you. Sometimes that's what it's all about, right? You model, you do your work, the numbers are there, and you go for it. For the record, I have LA ahead through 5. But I get worried anytime I have the pitcher I want to back modeled to surrender 2.5. Right? Because again, it could be 2 and you could be happy because you'll probably get 3. And it could be 1, the nice end. But once you give up the third run, it's hard. It's like, ugh. And again, I hear you. So Matt didn't get to his third scratch. He only scratched twice. I scratched my chin a third time, and I got out of it. Man, 3 games left. Let's go. This one I think I moved le market. It's the Blackbirds with the orange vest. Kyle Gibson on the road against the Elephants, bouncing on beach balls, and Luis Funky Cold Medina, minus 175, favorite for the O's to plus 165 on the athletic side. Gibson always kind of had that reputation being just a guy. And I think the numbers probably reflect that. 4.9 ERA, 1.3 whip, indicators at 4.5, 20K to 7 walk. Right? Stop me when you get excited in either direction. He keeps the ball down. That's the claim to fame. Suppresses hard contact. Yawn. Right? Yawn. Lefties have kind of been murder on him, though. If he does have a hole in the game. I'm seeing a really inflated ERA last 500 pitches, but none of the indicators buy it. I'm more looking at a 3.6 Sierra last 500 than the 5.8 ERA. I wonder if that's a blow up. I could have swore I've been following Gibson being pretty good as of late. The Orioles have really done a nice job with the pitching there. Making the... Okay, so yeah, here it is. It's not bad. Again, it's runs. Quality start at Tampa 6-3. Quality start at Philadelphia 6-2. Quality start at Toronto 6-0. 7-3 against the Mets, and then Seattle clobbered him. There it is. So again, Gibson's been pretty good. Medina has actually been good as of late as well. He has a 2.7 ERA last 500. A couple of people in the fantasy industry backing this guy. So again, you want to be careful. 5.3 ERA, 1.5 whip. I was looking towards the under, but I noticed when it was at 5, that a few minutes after I hit it, that number started to move. So Jay, can you get the F5 totals up? Remember, if you're going to go under in a game with Oakland, you can't go under on the full game. The bullpen is disgusting. Jay, bring up BetStamp, leave it up, and then we can tell everyone about it in a second. Oakland, F5. Yeah, see, it's starting to shift. Yeah, it's at under 4.5, but they're offering you money. That run is a really big deal. It went to 4.5 across the board. I was hoping for a juiced 5, right? Sometimes you could catch that. The U5 minus 125, one of the few places you'll actually hear me recommend juice when it's to get the winning run. To get out of there with your skin attached. Man, I've got it at 4.6, 2.3 to 2.2. I mean... that's the thing, 4.5 is so rough. But I do have this at 2.2. Hold on, let's check out the offenses. Baltimore offense, 92, WRC plus, 48% ground ball, 38 pull. A little disappointing. Also, very bad against righties. 280 expected WOBA last 30 versus righties. Oakland, of course, we kind of know they stink. Bottom 3 in runs scored. Bottom 5 in hard hit rate. Middle of the pack against righties. I guess we can go under the 4.5. Now, while we have this wonderful app up, Jay showing you how to shop, where to shop, do it at betstamp.app/call to the pen. J-Bird, tell them all about it, baby.
Yes, sure thing, John. I got you. If you want to improve as a sports bettor, the easiest way to do so is to use multiple sports books and to always get the best odds on everything that you bet. We recommend using an odds comparison tool like BetStamp. BetStamp compares odds across every sports book from games, futures, and player props. Save time and money by checking BetStamp before you bet. Download the app today. If you're looking to sign up for new sports books, please just check out the offers available at betstamp.app/call to the pen. You see it in the pinned comment. You see it in the description. Click that link. If you sign up through that page, it helps support the show. So, guys, if you're looking for more sports books, do so through that link. Now back to John.
Oh, sorry, look at me. Rookie mistake. I was blowing my nose. I didn't want anyone to have to hear that. Muted. Matt was set to bet on Baltimore, but it turned into a 3-scratch walkaway. Kind of sounds like a country song or one of those wedding dance things people do, the electric slide, and then they still be dancing with my mute on. I wasn't dancing the music in the background. I was picturing, Uncle Jojo, doing the thing, doing the 3-scratch, through the 3-scratch walkaway. Oh my goodness. Rookie mistake with the mute. Rookie mistake, man. Is that a first? Right. I never do that one. Jay normally mutes me, and I don't know if he did or didn't, but I had some funky noises incoming, and I wasn't about to do that to you. All right, come on, let's get through the next two, get Jay on the air for the last 5 minutes, do the case stuff, and get out of here for a wonderful weekend. It's the Snakes with Shapes on their back and Brendan Fott. Now, again, we're hitting that point in the season where those year-to-date stats kind of matter less and less. Fott is a perfect example. The ERA near 7, the whip near 1.5, so you're thinking, oh my gosh, gas can. However, 20K to only 6.5 walk, 34 ball rate, 84 zone contact. Really not bad. Too many fly balls, too many barrels has been too many home runs. But as we know, that's usually one of the first things to regress. And I also love the story arc. I know this is going to sound weird. I'm not generally a narrative street guy. But I do like the story arc of when a youngster goes down and kind of stinks, comes back up. That's when I like them. You know, he came up with 7 at San Francisco. Only gave up 1, struck out 7. The last 2 have been a bit rougher. It's been LA, Dodgers, and San Diego again, and that's why I'm having trouble backing it against Seth Lugo, who has been very good, but minus 175, I just don't know if I can get to. Again, I'll tell you why. The Arizona offense starting to show those signals that we look for when we look for the push up. I'm seeing some love for the over corner of my eye in the chat. I hear you, right? I'm starting to see those signals. San Diego doing the sellout thing right now, right? So they're striking out a little bit, not walking as much as usual, but right, top 5 hard hit, number 1 in hard hit, Savant, 11.5 barrel, right? And there's how they're scoring. They're also hitting tons of doubles. They've even started to steal. When I mentioned the Diamondbacks, what I wanted to get was the K rate. As a team down near 19, is from the strike rate back below 10, the chase rate at 29, zone contact at 89. Both of these teams have an 89% zone contact. So yeah, like Matt saying, over in cap letters, I could definitely get there. I'm going to go with it as well. Let's lock that one in agreement with Matt. I just want to make sure it's not double digits, right? Wow, this one I actually see some 9s floating. Jay, see if you can match us up there. Full game over 9. I want to agree with Matt. I think one of these pitchers might just completely explode in the beginning. But if not, we got the love in the back end. You want to be after these hashtag we hate bullpens. Last 45 and a third from Arizona. It's a 6.35 ERA, 1.6 whip, 13% barrel, 1.6 homer 9. San Diego Padres, 48 and a third. It's a 5.2 ERA, 1.45 whip, 270 batting average allowed. K rate down at 20%, 4 losses last 14 days. So yeah, I think especially if this one is 9, well, there's even 8.5. So look at that. This one bumped down. We definitely going over 8.5 here. Matt's got home runs from Soto and Walker. You heard it here first in the chat. Brian David, what's up? Welcome back, good sir. Good to see you. Thanks for hopping along on the show. Fastest show in MLB, absolutely anywhere. Make sure you press a bell, press the finger, stick your cartoon finger right up inside me because there's plenty of room. I'm a freaking windbag, if you know it. But if you're here 53 minutes into a show about baseball gambling a million miles an hour in the middle of August, you're one of us. Where it's not madness, it is Sparta. Welcome to the Fate Links. Call to the pen, baby. Okay, last game, then we're going to get Jay-Bird in, do a little bit of the backup again. These teams really are kind of hard to strike out. Arizona, I mentioned, doesn't strike out. San Diego not striking out as well. Tons of contact. You're not going to get your key leader there. At least I don't think so. Last but not least, Sandy Alcantara on the road against Tony Gonsolin and the Trolley Dodgers. This is funny. This was my cowardly play of the day. I have Miami F5 modeled to the win. I think Sandy Alcantara is getting back on track. I think Gonsolin is not very good. But the offensive stuff scared me off it. Let's see what everybody thinks. Sandy Alcantara starting to get it going again. 4.09 ERA, 117 whip. Indicators getting back towards 4. Listen, the K rate's never going to be great, but the walk rate at 6. 12.5 swing and strike, 31 ball, 38 O swing. Those are the pieces to the puzzles that Sandy needs to survive. 52% ground ball, another piece of that puzzle, suppressing hard contact, sub 1 homer 9. And you're like, why does everyone hate Sandy? Last 500 pitches, he's been excellent. Definitive edge over Gonzo. 4.25 ERA, 114 whip. I'm not buying it, though. I'm just not buying it. Every indicator is at 5 or above. Sierra 4.9. Fine. Inspected ERA at above 5.25. 10% KBB, 24 CSW, 21 whiff. I mean, these numbers are very poor. 90% zone contact. So tons of contact today. He's gotten away with he's gotten away with it. It's just, I don't know, man. Gonsolin is just, to me, he's getting away with it. I see the power allowed, for example, 41.5 hard hit, 10% barrel, 5.5 blast. Those are the kind of numbers that equal, 2 home runs per 9. His only been 1.25. He has a 395 expected wobble on contact, and he just has not been punished as such. Miami offense stinks right now, though. 233 average, 281 OBP, 88 WRC plus, 295 WOBA versus righties. They stink. Dodgers offense on fire, 275 average, 113 WRC plus. This is like the down wave for the Dodgers. 17K to 8.5 swing strike. Gee, we got to go F5, right? We got to go F5 on Sammy. We got to fade Gonsolin. All right, we're going to take the plus money. We got some plus 110s even. Right, I don't want to pay the juice when we're worried about I think that's probably a good piece of methodology. I don't want to pay the juice if it's the offense I'm worried about. So that'll do it for the full card. Everybody, have a warm round of applause. Welcome. Come on, J-Bird. Hop on in here, baby. Right into the studio. Let's do this K-leader stuff. The thing that we do so well. I'll tell you what, I'm going to need your help. I have nothing. I got nothing. I'm refreshing right now to see if it popped up. And from what I understand, it is not up yet, which kind of stinks. But that doesn't mean we can't have... That doesn't mean that we can't have our picks ready. Yeah, you on board with us here?
Yeah. So, John, I don't know if you can hear me, but
I think that's what you meant.
Yeah.
Dude, you don't have to beat around the bush. But put your headphone in, stupid.
Okay.
Dude, it's fine. All right, Jake, let's go get the thing. Who do we have so far? Just a couple of names. We had Berrios and we had Kopech that we're looking at it. Why don't you take it away? Who do you got? And I'll kind of flip around my stuff.
Two guys I like off the top. You mentioned Berrios. I just kind of write down what I think their line will be at and what I'd play it at. So I have Berrios at 15-1. I think that's probably around where he's going to be. I like him, obviously, because he has that easy matchup today. They're playing Cincinnati. Cincinnati hasn't been good the last couple of games. I look at, like you mentioned, I think it's last 500 plate appearances for the team. So it's like 2 weeks and a bit. Yeah. And yeah, so they've been a top 3 strikeout team in the last 500 plate appearances. So I like Berrios at 15-1 or better. I don't know if he's going to be posted at that. I think he will be, but I like him there. Another guy I like is Gavin Williams, around the same price range.
I don't think the 4:00 game will be on it. That's the early game.
Oh, okay. So if the 4:00 game is not on it, then we'll have to cut him.
Yeah, usually these start at 6:40 or later. Usually.
There's been times where they've had the 4:00 game in there though.
Oh, okay. You know what? I think you're right. Okay.
So
Gavin Williams.
So Gavin Williams, I like 15-1. A couple other guys I like who I don't think will be there. I like obviously Pablo Lopez and Brandon Woodruff. Those guys at around 10-1. I doubt they're going to be listed at that. They'll probably be a little higher. But with Spencer Strider on the slate against the Giants, who've been striking out a lot, I think there's a small chance that one of those guys might be in the 10-1 range, and I would play both those guys at the 10-1 range. Other than that, I don't really have much more I like. You mentioned Thompson. I'd play him around 100-1 if he's up there. Same thing with Medina. Like, listen, the A's are against Baltimore. Baltimore's a scary team. I hate playing against Baltimore in the daily K leader market because they're very disciplined. But I mean, if it's at 120-1, 150-1, I'm not going to say no to those, right? Like, these are all the long shots that I just throw a dart at, because even if you get the tie, you're still getting a good payout. So those are another two guys I like. Then I have a bunch of guys in the middle, and I can rattle through them.
Go for it, man. How you're humming right now? I'm not interrupting. How you humming? Go get it.
So we got Anderson for the Angels. I have him at around 35-1. He doesn't have the history. He has one high K game in the last 2 months. But again, the Rays have been kind of striking out a lot more. And obviously without Wander Franco, I think that's like something that's not been priced in properly yet. And we're not going to see that reflected in the strikeout. But losing Wander Franco is not going to be good for them. They'll probably bring in a guy who might strike out more than Franco. So I have him around 35-1. Same thing with Gibson in that same game. The Angels have been on the season striking out a decent amount. Yeah. And Gibson has the pitches. He has the upside. Gibson. Yeah.
No, so, Angels is Erasmo, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I meant to say Oakland's against.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. The Athletics.
No, it's all right.
So Gibson against the A's. A's have been disciplined. 14th, I think, in strikeouts the last 500 plate appearances, 14th to 16th, I think. So they've actually been good at not striking out recently, but they always have potential to blow up. So Gibson 35-1 range. Another guy I like is Miller 40-1. Doubt it's there though. All these guys I'm not sure they're going to be there.
Does Gibson have a ceiling game? I don't even know if he's got one.
He does have the ceiling games of 9Ks. So I mean, if he can bust through the 9Ks,
he has an 11.
Yeah, he's got
Minnesota, dude. He actually has 11 twice.
It's sneaky.
You got to play Gibson. No. Listen, again, this just becomes part of it. Gibson has a 9 and 2 11s.
Yeah.
You at this point you just can't LOL. You can't do that. That's doing this wrong. That's 3 out of 25 games he's been the K leader. So yeah, okay, got to like that play.
So yeah, and then I especially so that's the biggest thing. And also Oakland, they have potential to just blow up and be like a really high K team on a given.
I'm having trouble with matching here, right? That's kind of the story of today. The teams that strike out, we don't really have a lot of matches. Like I mentioned, the best matchup is Kopech because Colorado's been definitively the worst. Yeah. After that, the worst team is the Angels, but you can't really go with Erasmo. Mm-hmm. After that, I've got the Reds. So I guess Joe Barry, right? We mentioned Berrios. Right, that's Berrios. After that, I got the Tigers, who are pretty terrible. That's
Curry or
that's Williams. Curry. He doesn't strike anybody out. Like there are points where I'm like, there are just guys I can't really go with. Minnesota always kind of struggles with it, and that's Jackson. Yeah. Now, did you mention that?
Yeah, I mentioned Jackson. He again, like you mentioned it early on the show. He only has 4 innings pitched as the ceiling.
It's going to be really tough, but you could strike out 10 Twins in 5 innings,
That's the thing. And also he's been increasing his pitch count over the last 2 starts. Maybe if like you got to
he's got to be 100 or better at least,
exactly.
Right?
That's the only way I play. I would not play this at low odds because again, like 100 to 1 or better. Again, I'm not going to say no to any of these guys.
Right. We've said that before. If you can make a rational argument, like a legitimate rational argument for 100 to 1, you take it. You should take it.
Yeah. And that's pretty much all I have. Last guy I have is Brian Bello, who
Yankees have been striking out a bit.
It's tough. Like I have him at 65 to 1. I've played him so much this year. We haven't won with him yet. His highest K game is 8 Ks, but he has all the underlying stuff where he could just potentially do it one game, right? So maybe all it takes is for him to get some good variance from the umpires, something along those lines, where he can, I don't know, get his strikeouts up. But yeah, like that's at 6. I would play him 65 to 1 or greater. So these are all just, I don't have like a motto. These are all just me penciling paper.
No. You should. So that's where you start. That's where you start. Again, I was looking at Tyler Anderson because, again, the Rays have been striking out and they stink against lefties, but he doesn't even, I don't even know if he's touched 8 yet.
He has 1.
He has a 9 at Colorado.
Yeah.
That's kind of brutal. I don't know. We're going to have to see. So, everybody, all right, let's get out of here. I got to hit Evason in a few minutes.
One more thing.
Go. Close
one more thing before we go. There is the Royals play at 2:00 today, so I don't think he'll be a part of the slate. But Reagan's for the Royals has been striking out guys a ton lately, and if he's not on the slate, his pitcher prop is at 5.5 right now.
I'm over that for sure.
The over is plus money, so like
I'm over that for sure.
So if
I actually posted KC F5 this morning for subs. Mm-hmm. I also really like the Michael Massey under strikeout. Oh, man, let me get that before we get out of here. I don't want to forget the person that mentioned it. Philly Fan 03, I saw that. I wanted to mention it before. Says, hey, John, I saw your tweets about the hitter K-props. I'm not Twitter Blue. I can't DM you. Sorry about that. I used to promote my stuff. Any chance you could shed some light on what you've been doing there? Always appreciate your content. Yeah, man, if you stuck around for this. Yeah, I built a Fangraphs custom leaderboard. Again, I'm not just using 14 days for hitters, but you want to get at least 50 to 60 plate appearances. And I build, again, more than what we just do. Don't just look at K rate. I've been building parameters of hitters that have at least an 80% contact, at least 88% zone contact, a sub 31% chase rate, a single-digit swinging strike rate. And you'd be surprised that some of those hitters come in with under 1 strikeout at these big plus money odds. Michael Massey and Moustakas, all these guys constantly. Jay said the K leader is up. That's in Canada, Jay. I'm not falling for that. I'm not falling for that one again. That means it'll be up in America in a few minutes. But I really got to get out of here. I love you all. Enjoy the weekend. Thanks so much for picking up what we're putting down. It means the world to us as we crawl our way towards 1,000 subs. Hit us up on Twitter. We're going to post about the Daily K Leader. Hit me up. I run implied team totals for these exact purpose of something like this daily run leader that comes up. The one day they put it up is the one day we hit it. When they put it up again, we're going to look to knock it down once more. Thanks for being part of the Phalanx here at 300. It ain't madness. It is Sparta, man. We love you so damn much, yo. Enjoy the games. Enjoy your day when we're done with the book. Enjoy that pay. Jay Bird, you were awesome. Next time, just guest the entire show. When we're missing somebody. Love you too, man. Enjoy the weekend. Remember, when you work this hard, there's a lot less like luck, yo. Peace.